thank you for tuning in to this podcast. Make sure to subscribe down below and as well follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And as always, this episode is sponsored by Wells Vodka Infused Lemonade. Check them out at lcbo.ca or at your local LCBO.
Welcome to life in a pandemic. Boring, lonely, dull. Where can we look to find something entertaining? Where do we turn? Introducing Mitchell Cupcake Cairns, a workout addict, a man who wears his heart on his sleeve, who can also talk about the softer things in life. In his opposing corner, we have Marc 365 Vicioso, the most passionate paisano you've ever met, the movie connoisseur and the most driven man from the home country. In the middle of the two is Frank the Tank Iantorno, the mediator and the nicest guy in the room. They debate like politicians, give advice like therapists, and they bicker like soccer moms. But with everybody's good side comes secrets from the past we are craving to find out. The only question is, do you want to know?
Hey everybody, we're back for another episode of Do I Want to Know podcast, but this is the season finale, the finito de season 2. One of my favorite times. It's always every time you have any series, doesn't matter if everything was shit beforehand. It wasn't, but it doesn't matter. Only matters is if this episode's fire and you want to watch the next. But without enough me talking right now, gotta introduce the boys over there. Mitch, Frankie, what's going on, boys?
How's it going, guys?
Pretty good, guys. You guys okay? I'm excited for this. Is our season 2 finale. So
I know, finale, big episode. And this episode, we have a return guest. Now,
do we now?
Now, do we?
Or do we now? Are you sure? Are you sure she's good enough to be a return guest?
All right. So we're gonna address this issue early on. Actually, you know what? There was a situation that happened on the podcast. I think it was episode 5, Mitch. What was it?
It was Ben's episode.
Ben's episode
4.
Okay. So Alyssa, a lot of controversy has been talked about this. I haven't even talked to you about this. So I want you to explain your side of the story and sort of what the main problem here was.
Well, my side of the story is, as your previous #1 fan, I was just going about my day, watching the podcast as usual, and I hear this, oh, Alyssa wasn't good enough to be the first returning guest on the podcast. Whoa, play it back. Me. And then I'm looking through the episodes. I'm the only Alyssa who's been on the podcast before. So I think you're referring to me. And that's where our beef lays right now.
I can't get over the fact that Marc said, let's hear Alyssa's side to the story, where there's only one good side to it.
There's only one right side to this.
Has there a different opinion on this, Marc?
And I do have to say before, yes, I understand, but this joke or whatever it was in jest and may have gone a little overboard, even though I understand where you are coming from, and I understand. So I'm going to go and I'm going to apologize for my comments made on episode 4. I'm going to be the big person here and take the L, if you will. Alyssa, will you accept my apology?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. There we go. Does your family actually still hate me though?
No. So the thing is, they're very protective, and whenever someone takes shots at me, they just get a little upset. So we will continue to play the podcast in the car. So here's our we're digging up the bad blood and we're starting fresh.
All right, beautiful.
All right, Marc. I don't want to see. I don't want to see you ever do this again, Marc. No more talking about former guests, okay?
No.
All right.
No, please don't.
Maybe there's only one more guest. I'll get into that story in a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I may have a little bit of a teaser for you guys, but no. But in my I do a little research, a little write down before the episode. Obviously, we know Alyssa. She's a great friend of us, and we could probably just vibe and go off of just talking. But I want to know and update the audience, because a lot of actual people have been asking for updates on this. So what happened from the last episode that you were on? And there was a hockey scene, if you will, where there was a big moment where you discussed about something that happened in a change room, and you told us about what happened with this guy with this message, but maybe you can let the audience know and give a little update to us.
The update is, so I put a little teaser of the Do I Want to Know podcast on my Instagram story. Follow me at _Alyssa Morrison. And the guy who actually did that, he sent me paragraphs apologizing and said, I didn't know how much it affected you. I didn't know how wrong it was until I heard it and heard you say that. So, I mean, a good thing came out of it. And a lot of other girls actually were in my DM saying they've kind of gone through similar situations, which made me feel a lot better of coming out with that story. So thank you guys for giving me that platform, but that is the update.
Beautiful.
That was it. You know what? It really, when you texted both of us as well, and that was during a time where we weren't, I guess, as close, or at least you and I were as close. And that really, it really would hit me pretty hard that we actually affected change with that. And the fact that this guy came out and apologized, which was the right thing to do. And it gives other people a thought process that this is not right to do as well. So overall, just when you let me know about that, I was like, okay, that is amazing. That just made the podcast just 10 times better.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about it before, Mitch, and I think you alluded to it. You wanted to bring it up almost. You're talking about it almost stems from an insecurity sometimes. And I'm not getting at him, and he's obviously his own guy, but sometimes even with, I'm not talking about him specifically, guys can get insecure around their girlfriend, and sometimes they don't know how to act, or then they sometimes trouble other girls, or sometimes do things that they normally wouldn't. What would you have to say about that though, Mitch?
Well, I don't think that has anything to do with insecurity. That incident, I think that incident is just by itself is just a bad decision. It has nothing to do with insecurity, in my opinion. But when we were talking about insecurity, a sense of you having in a relationship, you really, in my opinion, again, Mr. never had a serious relationship in his life before. So again, what do I know? But I think about it as, what is there to be insecure about yourself to your girlfriend, or just in a relationship when you've had that time, you've had that relationship for about, a couple months, maybe I would go even a year. And there's still times where you're either you're jealous about stuff, or you're like protective and stuff. You're protective about her, protective of what happens. You gotta understand what I'm saying, Mark?
Yeah. Like, Alyssa, would you say you still get jealous if you ever see, let's say you're on Garrett's phone, Garrett, Alyssa's boyfriend, great guy, and you see something pop up and a Snapchat and it's a girl? Would you still get insecure about that, or would that be something that you're sort of okay with at this point?
I don't think insecure would be the right word for my situation. I'm very secure with my relationship in the sense that I trust him wholeheartedly, like genuinely. I think he is such an amazing guy and loyal, but some things that would spark question for me, I think that more stems from like curiosity, or maybe like red flag. You can never be too, I don't want to say secure, but you never want to just have your eyes like
too gullible.
Yeah, you don't want to be ever blind yourself to those situations. I mean, you see on the news all the time that even celebrities, after 10 years of marriage, one of them's cheating. And it's not like you ever intend that other person's going to cheat, but I think that also could just spark some questions. So for me, I mean, I've never really been in a situation like that. Garrett goes to, where does he go? Hold on. He goes to Florida Atlantic University down in South Florida. We are doing long distance. So yeah, sometimes like if we are together and I see something, I'm kind of like, hey, who's that? Because he's never brought her up, or, whatever, but he's making his own friends, doing his own thing, which is totally fine. Sometimes it's just like, oh, who is that? I've never heard you talk about that person. But yeah, I guess I would say I'm like very secure.
I think that's natural though. I think in a relationship, if you see like anyone, a guy or a girl name pop up on, for my girlfriend's phone, I'll just be curious. I'll be like, hey, who is that? Like, is that a friend? Is that just someone that's, bothering you, giving you a hard time? Obviously I trust my girlfriend, but I think it's natural to kind of just take that interest and, want to know who your significant other is talking to.
Mm-hmm. And I think, speaking of that, Frank, just talking about that, I know we had a discussion before when I said, if I was in a relationship and let's say a guy approached my girl either at like a bar or maybe even in the DMs, and if someone's like, Mitch, you want to do something about that? I at first thing wouldn't, because this is her, they slid into her DM. She can figure it out. She's a grown woman. She can figure out what to say. If she doesn't want to respond, don't respond. She's at the club or at a bar, she can say no. you know? But
I think when you do get a girlfriend, though, here's where you're not thinking about.
okay.
You guys have built up this huge platform on TikTok, and you're seeing hundreds of girls commenting, "Oh my God, he's so cute. Oh my gosh, is he single?" You're doing TikTok lives, and those questions are flooding in. And now you're able to say, I am single for right now. But what happens when you do have a girlfriend? How are you going to be able to handle that situation?
I
Good
take that
question, Alyssa. Alyssa, good question right there.
Mark's fired up right now.
No, I still, because I'm a big believer in it's the same thing. So let's say if my girlfriend went the opposite way with that, as you said, if they had TikTok and people say, "Oh, you're so hot, blah 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 this, blah blah that, let me be your boyfriend, blah blah, whatever," As someone who I am dater, I'm like, yo, look at me go. If the other people, I take that more as, instead of me being like, oh, I'm jealous that other guys are trying to get with my girl, or the same sense, if other girls are trying to get with me, I want to be like, you thinking like it kind of builds your ego saying, well, hey, if you want to leave me and go to them, it's a free country. Go do what you want, But the thing is, we built that kind of relationship already that, to me, if someone does that, it's like, hey, it builds my ego up that a lot of people find my girlfriend attraction, or if my girlfriend finds my
also,
boyfriend.
Mitch, you're missing one crucial thing here.
What is
You're
it?
building the complex that like, oh, this is already built, and like, oh, I already trust her. But most relationships, they take time to build that trust. I'm pretty sure Alyssa can say this. Like at the beginning, you don't fully you trust them enough, but like you don't fully trust that person that you're with, Garrett, or Frankie doesn't fully trust Victoria until they actually have that little bit of time together. So if you're dating her maybe the first month and you see these things, then you're going to be like, oh, I thought we were building this. What is this? But you're trying to say that that's not the case? Okay,
you're right. Early in the first month, it's a lot. It's because you're right. You have to build that trust, But again, the first month, I still count that as talking stage. Like it's not an actual relationship, I don't think, in the first month, in sense. You need to build that kind of, you gotta say like, we love each other, all that kind of stuff, And again, it's one of those things that life's all about temptations and stuff. So if ever came to a conclusion where another guy approached her, she wanted to like do something, hey, break up with me. This is about life. Don't try to like cheat on me or like break up with me. Choose something else. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a big believer, especially too, again, no serious relationship, so I don't have any proof from this. But I feel like when I do, I would give the person all my trust. But then if you break it, there's no coming back from that. You understand what I'm saying? It'll be built on trust. And if let's say you break it, it's no like, oh, we can work through this. No, I don't trust you anymore. And I'm not going to have a relationship where I don't trust the person I'm with. You understand that? 100%. So that's the kind of mindset I have, I guess, of it.
Well, that's interesting, and maybe something we may touch up on OpenBook, which is going to come later in the episode.
Making it come back.
And it's going to be a big series finale thing. But yes, you're doing your own thing right now, and also Alyssa's doing her own thing. She has her own YouTube channel, vlog style, bare subscribers. She's probably past James Charles at this point.
David Dobrik, everyone.
We're just in the dirt, in the mud. Alyssa, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about your vlog channel and what you're trying to do over there?
Okay. So since we've last talked, I was kind of starting my YouTube channel, not really putting a lot of focus into it just because so many other things were going on at the time. And ever since then, I've really started to vlog more and do more like day in my lives, things that are happening. Well, actually, since the last episode, my grandma got diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And although that's like a really tough situation, I know in my heart that I have to stay busy for me not to wander off into those dark thoughts. So what really got me back into YouTube is just occupying myself, but also I really love helping people. And one of the videos that kind of got a little bit more views was the one where I talked about Ryerson University and sport media and answering questions. So come application time, I was getting tons of DMs asking me questions about the program and what it's all about. And I really had that spark of, oh my gosh, like I can give my insight to other people. And through YouTube, I can connect with an audience that I really wanted to build. So right now I'm doing more vlogging and just doing more day in my life so other people can get a sense of who I am as a person, what I'm doing. And through that, I've built this like really cool community and some of them I'm like literally friends with. So it's been really fun.
Yeah, and for sure. I can speak, like, if I was going into sport media, like when I applied 2 years ago, and then I saw that, oh, there was this girl that had her own vlog type thing, and then she was there and she was doing her own thing, telling me questions, a little secrets and tips. That would have been like, I would have been like, okay, let me go subscribe right now. And then, yeah, as you said, if they do like you, and then they get to see what you have to do, and like that stuff with your grandma and keeping it busy, that's really impactful, powerful stuff. Or even you can go from that side of the spectrum to like the Target swimsuit thing, or like you can go to boyfriend stuff with Garrett. There's a whole like untapped potential over here, I must say.
And you hit the nail right on the head, Mark, because I just quickly looked up her subscribers, and there was a time where when we started, we were a good amount of subscribers ahead of her. She's killing us now. People are loving her. I was watching, I think she's almost hitting 400, and we just surpassed 200. So clearly whatever she's doing, people are liking it. And I also say too, as I know you're a big fan of the Do I Want to Know podcast, I'm a big fan of the vlogs too. And your grandma vlog really actually, it made me tear up a bit, because I was like, damn. Because I've gone through similar things with my grandparents. Sadly, I don't have any grandparents anymore. How to go through that. So that really, the way you can bring your emotion, transfer onto your audience, I think is one of your best qualities in your vlogs, personally.
Thank you so much. And also bringing back like what you said about the subscriber number, I really just want to stress the message that numbers means nothing. Like,
yes,
and it shouldn't be. And all four of us are in the same program together, but we all are very much like believing in storytelling and being genuine people. So even though we like go back and forth about the numbers, it's never about that. It's always about just bringing.
You're right. It's not about the numbers, but we have a nice joke about that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the reason why. So again, you're right. I should have mentioned that off the bat, that we all have a joke about this. So
Mitch is that competitive guy, so he loves to win.
Buddy,
I think Mark still takes the crown when it comes to competitiveness.
Yes, I was
competitive
about to say,
as Mitch
why is he blaming me for competitiveness? Like, why is it me? No, it's you, Mark, and we all know
I am a competitive person.
Yes.
But speaking of competitive and speaking of games, if you will, I have a new segment that I created on this show, Do I Want to Know? And it's sort of an elongated version of the podcast, but there's certain things in pop culture and sports that we don't really get to touch on all the time. We're talking more about insecurities, sports, relationship stuff, but we never really get to touch on the pop culture stuff all the time. So we created this thing, or better yet, we all created this thing. Like me, Mitch, Frankie, we all pitched in. It's called the Millie. So there's 5 topics in the world trending right now, trending topics, and we're just going to talk about them. I'm going to say the story that's at hand. I'm going to pose one of you a question, and we're going to have a discussion about it. Does that sound good, Alyssa?
Sounds good. Let's go.
All right, beautiful. And look at this. Meeting has been upgraded by the host. It's Christmas Day.
You don't need to say that.
Mark fully announces it.
Hey, people who record podcasts know the struggle. They know the struggle. All right, so let's start off the Millie. Yesterday, well, this was recorded Monday, March 8th. So on Sunday, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry had an exclusive sit-down interview with Oprah Winfrey discussing all the secrets that are up in Buckingham Palace.
They dropped the bomb.
Yeah,
boom.
They dropped a lot of bombs, and they dropped a lot of stuff. So, Alyssa, I don't know how much you are into the Buckingham Palace and this whole relationship princess drama, but how much credence on a scale of 1 to 10, you can just give me the answer and then explain why. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think classism and racism exist in Buckingham Palace, which is one of the main things that Meghan Markle was alluding to in this interview?
I would definitely go towards more of the 10, because Europe is very much 50 years behind, like literally the rest of the world. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't know, because I was like, I saw the exact same thing. Like, I'm seeing clips on TikTok now, and all the comments are like, oh my God, like, I can't believe this is happening. And people literally from England are like, no, this is how it is here, like all the time. And so classism and racism play a prominent role, because, and think about it, so much of their society is based on traditional ideas, whereas you're in Canada, I'm in America. We're not the best countries in the world, but I mean, we've progressed so much in terms of social justice So they're kind of way back there. So I'd go more like a 10.
And you can still even think about it, because again, like the royal family is still, honestly, they have zero power in Europe or in England, but they're still the royal family.
Well,
They
look how old their queen is. Like,
Yeah,
she's
like-
still packing. Like, you know
look
what
at
I
that
mean?
guy.
Like,
Look at that guy. I'm gonna put him up for you guys. Look at the guy with the skin. What's that guy?
Prince Philip.
Jeez, he looks dead.
He is. He's on 1% right now.
Mark, he's in the hospital right now, like about to die.
no, you guys need to look up, whoever's watching. It's Operation London Bridge, I think, and that's
I heard about
happens
that.
when the queen dies. And there's a whole nother thing when the prince, like it's huge, and no one realizes. My friend did a whole TikTok on it. He blew up. A lot of people don't understand like the capacity that this family has among their whole country, like among even Canada too, because you guys still have.
She's on our bill. She's on our bill.
Exactly. So it's going to be crazy. But yeah, so back to the question 10.
Yeah, I think definitely it's closer to like 100 out of 10, just because they literally only exist because of classism. They haven't been voted into power like other politicians, and you can judge politicians as much as you want. People voted for them. People are there for a reason. No one voted the queen into power. No one voted the prince into power. They're there just because they were born into a higher class, and they're deemed to be more special than other people. That's ridiculous. I think that's not the way that the society works now. People are voted into power, and that's why they have no power.
And I can even argue too, that's saying that probably one royal blood that was pretty progressive, I think, or was demonstrating being progressive, was Princess Diana. And it's you know how sadly how she passed away too. There's conspiracy theories saying that now, after hearing what Buckingham Palace, all the power they have, what they do, the conspiracy that they are the ones that killed Princess Diana too. So there's so much stuff that's happening there. But great question, Mark. Good answer.
A little follow up, before we go into the next one. Meghan Markle. I'm gonna ask Mitch, since he's the only single one. If you had to say out of 10, what is Meghan Markle for you?
She was one of my celebrity crushes. Suits, loved Suits. She's I think also too, the power that she brings as just a powerful woman in general also makes her a lot more attractive to
Exactly.
me, not just based off looks. So she's like a 10, 9, 10. You just said up there.
Beautiful. Well, that's the first one on the list. So let's go up. Let's go see what's next. So Blake Griffin, the former 6-time All-Star and star of the Los Angeles Clippers, has just signed with the Brooklyn Nets, forming a super team of sorts with Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and if you want to put Joe Harris in there for the white boys, he's over there too. So
Hello, Joe Harris.
Little Joe Harris love. So I'm going to ask Mitch this. Mitch, what is the best super team that you've ever had to witness? Any sport. Doesn't have to be basketball. Could be football. Could be soccer. Could be hockey for all maybe Alyssa knows a super team in hockey.
Well, can I just say something? It's going to be completely different in the NBA because they're allowed to build these empires.
Yeah,
and they're like that doesn't really happen in like the NFL or like, I mean, I guess second league would be probably MLB.
Yeah. Well, like
Yankees or like the Red Sox back in the day. But also, if you look in hockey, there's also been a couple dynasties. Like the Penguins, I'm not going to call them a super team per se, but the Penguins had a very good run with their guys, Crosby, Malkin. But you're right, hockey is more of a team sport.
Well,
the
Edmonton Oilers, that's as big of a super team as it gets. Mark Messier, Wayne Gretzky, Yari Curry. Like, exactly. Come on.
But I guess if you're talking about straight super teams, the only super team that I think that had the most potential and I think has the greatest talent was the Golden State Warriors when they had KD, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and a decent bench and coached by Steve Kerr. I think that would be the best super team. Is it the best team? No. There's a lot of cases you can say. Like you said, Penguins in the NHL, the Chicago Blackhawks, or they're still called the Blackhawks, right? They're not changing.
Yeah, they're still called the Blackhawks.
Still called it, yeah. That team as well. There's a time where it's like either them or Chicago were winning the Stanley Cup. You got the Patriots, like who can argue against them? You can give maybe the Seahawks in 2013, 2014 with that defense, maybe.
Well, don't forget, a dynasty and a super team are very different. I think what a lot of those teams were, like the Chicago Blackhawks, I think they're a dynasty. They had a great team. But in hockey, in baseball, this goes back to Alyssa's point. In hockey, in baseball, in football, you can't build a super team the same way you can in basketball, just because it takes so many parts to win.
I think you can
in basketball, if you have like 3 to 4 guys and that are at a certain level, you're winning a championship.
It's also because it's a player-driven league as well.
I was just about to bring Mitch and I have had that conversation before where NBA is a player-driven league. So
it's how they make their money. The social influence of their players is how they make money. It's how it's so popular and how they voice their opinions and everything. But it's also when they actually play basketball, they make the decisions. Owners don't really. Commissions the league, but it's really LeBron's league per se.
For sure.
All right. Well, that's what we had to say about that. And we're on to the next controversy. Number 3 on the list.
All right.
The UK today, they've been on one this whole day. So I don't know if you guys have heard of this. So again, with my research, I'm going to pat myself on the back because I do have a nice amount of research that I put into this Millie.
Okay.
Have any of you guys heard about the Burger King controversy?
I have heard about the Burger King controversy.
I have not at
So
all.
there was a tweet that Burger King UK that they tweeted out, and I'm just gonna put it up right here. So I'm not mincing any words. I have it right here loaded up already. Here it says, Burger King UK 12 hours ago. So whenever that was England time, they said, women belong in the kitchen, period. And then they went on to do a thread. If they want to, of course, yet only 20% of chefs are women. We're on a mission to change the gender ratio in the restaurant industry by empowering female employees with the opportunity to pursue a culinary career. Now, I think there was 1,000 different ways that they could have gone about this initiative without saying women belong in the kitchen. But Alyssa, I'm going to ask you, what is the worst joke or worst comedian that you ever listened to that you said, I'm never going to listen to this person again?
Marc Vicioso.
Oh, wow.
Can I just say, I thought I saw that tweet too, and at first I was like, "What? Can I cuss on this? Can you bleep me out?"
Sure. Yeah.
I was like, "What the? This is crazy. It's 2021. Like with everything going on, I'm like, this is what they're saying." But it got me to click on it. That's the whole point of what they did it for. They didn't do it to please people. They did it so people would be more interested and click on it. I think it was executed very poorly, but I do think it was a good idea. Like I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, shut the like that is like so sexist." Their point of that tweet was to get people to click and get the information in that thread, and they did that for me.
You know,
Clickbait. That's it. And at the end of the day, bad press is still press.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're a company to the extent of Burger King, you're not just some guy on YouTube trying to get people to click on your page. You're Burger King. You're a massive company worldwide. You can do a bit better than that to get clickbait.
But Burger King
give buy 2 nuggets, get 2 free, and then see how many people are clicking on there.
Yeah, say 2 free Whoppers and you get the same thing. But they put one.
I can't remember the last time I actually was at a Burger King.
Like, and does this make you want to go to Burger King?
No.
It doesn't make. Well, Alyssa, I'm gonna ask. What is your favorite fast food restaurant? USA. You don't have to just go Canada. You can go USA.
From the USA, Mark, right? The USA.
US of A. Come on now. What? I'm missing Wingstop personally. I would love a Wingstop to come into Canada.
Shake Shack hits different.
Oh, I had Shake Shack the other day. Honestly, I would say Sonic because they have slushies with nerds in them. Oh my God, that hits different.
How much are those? Like 50 cents in the States?
50. What kind of free country are we talking about? Like, it's not actually free.
You gotta love it. Well, we're almost done. We have 2 more to go on the Millie. So today, March the 8th, as I alluded to before, is International Women's Day. Yes. A great day for everybody. Empowering women are the crux of life. They're needed. They're the best people ever. And they represent the people that men strive to be and they want to marry and they want to do this. But women, they represent so much in everybody's life. Everybody has a mom. Some people have a sister. Some people have teachers that are women. Everything. And there's so many new things coming up with like women in the sport media industry, women everywhere. And women are just amazing. So Alyssa, I know I'm sort of taking out Frankie here, but this was more towards you. Alyssa, who is the most important woman in your life?
My mom.
I couldn't even.
10,000% my mom. Like, she brought me into this world. She can take me out. Like, she literally embodies like what being a strong woman is. She's gone through so much, and I think I can go to her for anything. But also, like, she's created this very compassionate environment where if I'm in trouble, I'm not afraid to talk to her. I can just go to her. So 10,000% my mom.
Mm-hmm. Mitch, do you have anything for most of? I'm gonna ask everybody because International Women's Day is a big day.
Well, there's so many women in my life that I wouldn't be the person I am today without them. I guess if I can name a few, my mom, obviously, my two sisters, Rachel and Jenny, my family, like. I don't want to name every woman in my family, like it's not that, but everyone there. My friends, Cleo, who was on the podcast. Oh shit, I don't know what kind of dude I'd be if I hadn't met Cleo. Alyssa, we are now very close. If people don't know that by now, but we're now very close. Again, all you guys are really just special in my life, and it's made me the person I am today. So, thank you, guys.
And then Frankie, I'm not gonna say favorite because obviously all women mean something else in your life. Maybe a shout out to some women in your life that mean a lot to you.
Yeah, of course. Obviously you have to say your mom. I think if you don't say your mom, then you have some real issues in your household. But definitely my mom. My sister, she's still a girl. She's 14, but she's turning into a lovely woman. And then of course she's getting there. I love her very much. And then of course, my girlfriend. She's everything to me. She's absolutely amazing. There's so many great women, aunts, my grandparents, my grandmothers, so many great women in my life. I'm very fortunate. Mitch, another great woman to have in my life. You love to see it.
That was just a terrible joke. I would just say that's just a terrible joke. But whatever, I'll take it.
I'll shout out my girlfriend Anna, of course, my mom, Nona, Zia, everybody around there. A lot of important women in my life. Alyssa, great woman as well that we know. Come on now. Gotta get back on Alyssa's good books after.
I'm good enough to be on that list. There we go.
You see, there it is. All right. And we're at finally the last part of the Millie. And I think this is a big one because this is almost a year since it happened. And it's becoming our COVID-iversary. The COVID-iversary, as I call it. COVID has almost been in our lives for a whole year. I don't know if you're going to have any beers, a pizza to sort of like commemorate the day. But I'm going to ask Frankie here. Frankie, since COVID started, what is the best game of sports that you watched?
Ooh, there's been some good
ones.
Pick
one.
Okay, if I had to pick one, I know that you two aren't big hockey fans, but I'm a massive Leaf fan, and I think it was Game 4 against the Columbus Blue Jackets in the playoffs where the Leafs were down 3-0 with like 3 minutes left, and they ended up scoring 3 quick goals to push it to overtime, and then Austin Matthews scored it in overtime to win. We ended up losing the next game and being eliminated. But besides that game as a single game was definitely probably the best sporting game I've seen over COVID.
Nice. Mitch, you got one?
You know what? I think that might have been the best. And I didn't even watch hockey, but I know what about that game, and that was a pretty insane game. You can say as a Raptor fan when OG hit that, buzzer beater, the throw over Taco by Lowry, catch and shoot. Maybe that was I guess as a Raptor fan, was good. The NBA Finals I thought were very, very intriguing this year with Jimmy Butler, LeBron.
Game 5 was actually a very underrated game.
Very.
Danny Green, Danny Brick Green, as Andrew Mello, shout out Andrew Mello would call him, and a great performance by Jimmy Butler. That is a good one as well, I must say. Alyssa, do you have one that comes to your mind at all? Maybe a Boston junior hockey team? What is it?
I would probably say when the Ravens beat the Titans, because that was the first time Lamar Jackson has won in the playoffs, which my boyfriend knows very well. So I would say that game, that was a big monumental game for me.
Look at this. And now this is a great thing and a great way to end it off. And I think this is going to be a little bit of a game that we're going to play with each other. So I have here COVID-iversary, best game since COVID started, but also we're going to have to get Frankie involved here. We're going to say exact date when COVID-19 will end. So I'm going to need a month, I'm going to need a day, and I'm going to need a year. So then whenever we come back upon this, whoever is closest to this is going to have to get something from one of us. Maybe an all-exclusive dinner paid by the Do I Want to Know boys. Maybe if I win, I got to take Alyssa and take her to Blaze Pizza, get a pizza. Who knows?
Blaze.
Who knows what's going to happen? So, Alyssa, you have to give me a month, a day, and a year that COVID-19 will end. Hers is different, though, since she's in the States. So we got to...
Let's end.
I was going to say, what does that mean?
What does end mean?
There's two different marks because COVID is going to be turned into the flu, you know?
COVID's not ending. It's not going away, baby. It's not going away.
Are you talking about when the world goes back to where it was? Because I don't even think it's going to go back to normal, but being like no restrictions. Is that what you're trying to say? Like no restrictions?
I'll say no restrictions.
Okay, that's better. I'll let Alyssa go first.
And since the states, I don't know, each state by state is different. We'll go with Ontario goes back to COVID restrictions.
Ontario. Okay.
No restrictions.
How about let's go. When are the Stanley Cup Finals this year?
Interesting, Frankie.
You know,
I know the playoffs start in like May.
Let's say, because you know, in the States, everything opened up for the Super Bowl. So let's see, Canada, maybe July. Let's go July 10th, 2020.
Oh, July 10th, 2021. Frankie, put it down.
July 10th, 2021. I'm writing it in my brain.
Mitch, you got a date right here?
I do, but I just want to acknowledge how you tell Frankie to do things when he has no idea what you're saying. I want to acknowledge that for a second, but it's gonna be a little further than that, Alyssa. I have to say.
For Ontario, aren't you guys getting vaccines like rolling in?
No, we're very.
They said by June they're hoping to start vaccinating the general public.
Yeah. But it's orders, like it'll be stages that you can go get it.
So Mitch, you going 2022 then, brother?
It will be. You want an exact date?
Yeah.
December 24th, 25th. I think restrictions will be back, or won't be there, and people will be able to see their families. Okay. I think that will be the day where everyone's like, "Yo, we're back. I got to go see my family. We're not in lockdown." I think that will be the day.
So Mitch is going Christmas Eve. Frankie, you got the last day here to break. We got December, July. You got the last date right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a little in the middle, and this is slightly optimistic, but my birthday is August 22nd. My girlfriend's birthday is August 18th, so I am saying August 16th, 2 days before my girlfriend's birthday, a few days before mine. Everything is gonna open back up, and it is gonna be absolutely insane. By the time I turn 20, everything's gonna be back to normal.
Wow,
beautiful. And that was the Millie. I have to say thank you guys for enjoying my game. The Millie, you know what I mean? Maybe got to get a new graphic up for season 3 for the Millie.
Yes. But now we go to
I know there's an
original game.
Yeah, so every game there's always a throwback, and there's always every season finale there seems like there's always that guest character that you remember that comes back into the fold, or something happens along those lines. So we're bringing back our old friend OpenBook. Yes. And we're going to go out here, and it's going to be the same rules as the last time we played. So, Alyssa, you're going to have a question for either me, Mitch, or maybe even Frankie if you want. Frankie wasn't involved. If you want Frankie, that's fine, Me, Mitch, or Frankie, and then whoever you ask the question to has to ask a question right back.
Yeah.
And that's how we're going. And if we still have time, maybe a little bit, then we're going to maybe do a third one. But there's only 2 for now, depending how good these questions are.
I might have 2, Mark. I might have 2 that I might want to.
Okay.
If I'm asked, Alyssa, it's up to you, but I got 2 that I might want to ask you. So.
All right, Alyssa, you go ahead. Who do you want to choose?
Well, I chose Mark last time, my very first appearance on the podcast, and we kind of already touched on what I was going to ask, which I was going to ask, like, who are 3 women in your life that you would want to talk about? Why for International Women's Day? But because we already touched on that, scrap that idea right now, immediately. Okay. So what I want to ask Mitch is, thinking about your 2021 goals, what have you accomplished? What are you still working on? And are there any new goals that you have formed along the way?
Wow. Yes, I do have goals. Yes, I do. And I think I told you them, did I not? I think I gave you like a list of them sometime, I forget when. Goals are just to try to be more positive, I guess. Try to think of the positive. We're in a pandemic. There's not really much negativity you need to bring more to this life right now or this world. Being more positive, being nicer is one, because I feel like I can be me sometimes. But like actual goals, obviously my fitness goals, I'm pretty big in trying to get to a certain weight, look a certain way. That's my goal there. One thing that I tried to do this year was play the piano. I'm about 1 or 2 songs in, doing a song a month. So I'm on the progress of learning to play the piano. And yeah, I guess that's kind of it, I guess, for my goals. I guess too, I want to go back. I want to live life more to the fullest once this is all done, and take every day special. Like make sure every day is special, basically. So I guess
nice political answer. I feel like I'm watching the Canadian elections. I'm watching Justin Trudeau.
Okay, Prime Minister Trudeau.
Thank you, Prime Minister Trudeau. I'm gonna make sure I do the most right there. Well, Mitch, Alyssa asked you the question. You got to ask the question right back to her.
Well, I got a couple things. And one, am I allowed to ask 2 questions, Alyssa?
Yeah.
One will be something I think you understand what one of the questions are going to be. Then one you're not going to know at all.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. First one is the one that you're not going to know at all. Okay.
Oh God.
I got breaking news a couple days ago.
Oh.
From a certain somebody in this Zoom call right now, or in this podcast, that he is stepping up to the plate. He's stepping up to the ring. He's getting into the ring. Marc decided we've been talking about fighting for a while. He is putting his money where his mouth is, and he's got a trainer to box. He's going to learn to box. And we've always said Marc and I were going to fight. I've been boxing for about almost 1.5 years, 2 years now. Marc's now going, I'm happy for it because it makes it a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to ask you, Alyssa, here and now that Marc is now getting ready. He's ramping up. He's actually going to put some money into this. Who would win in a boxing fight, myself or Marc?
Can I just say, this is going to break Ryerson history, sport media history.
I think it might too, to be honest.
That's the hope here. Box office record smashed.
Homecoming gone. This is it. This is.
You know what? I'll say one thing. I was talking to Frankie about this, and they do something. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Homecoming or Semi or something. They do kind of a party in September to get everyone excited for Ryerson for the semester or whatever. I say you replace that with an RTA fight night.
An RTA fight night.
RTA fight night.
You're gonna have to win over our professors with that one, and that's gonna be a hard thing.
Well, Zach. Hi.
He's big into the UFC, so you never know. Maybe combat sports. But Alyssa, the question is still on the table.
No, I have an answer. I definitely have an answer, and this is just strategic thinking. I'm gonna go with Mitch just because, not size, not anything, not grit or whatever. He's been training for so long, and I feel like to be good at fighting, training is like maybe top 3 important things. And I think that in itself, like technique, is what he has over you, which you know that because you're just starting to train. So I think that's why I'm going to go with Mitch. But if I see him the next few months, maybe I'll switch sides.
You never know.
You got stuff to prove now, okay? That was the right answer. I'm not going to say it wasn't the right answer. It was 100% the right answer. So
I don't think it was the right answer.
Yeah, we're not going to get to that because your theory on that is Marc's watched Rocky more times than me.
I'm just saying, it's a mentality that he has. It's a mentality. If he gets knocked down, that Rocky music is going to hit and he's going to get back up.
You seen Creed 2? You've seen Creed 2? He got up off the mat.
Creed 1, I thought he died in the ring and he came back to life and got up.
He did. But I said I got another question, and I think Alyssa thought my question was going in a different path. It is going to that path right now. A couple days ago, Alyssa, I think you let everyone know, right, about your decision, and people don't know you're in Florida right now.
Yep.
You're there. You're with.
COVID safe, everyone. Protocols
are
followed. Everything. I'm following the rule book by every single state. So yes.
So, I've known for a little bit. I've known a little bit about it. You told me, I forget when, but I knew a bit about it. Why are you in Florida right now?
Well, I am currently looking for an
Mhm.
apartment for me because I am transferring after the semester.
Drop.
Yeah.
If you
Drop
didn't
the-
know already, she's gone.
I'm a Florida girl now.
That is a CM Punk pipe bomb, if you guys know it. For any WWE fans right there, that's a pipe bomb right there. Alyssa, I'll have to ask just as a follow-up, was there any sort of, I think I maybe know, we maybe have had a conversation, but was there a reason as to why this program that you're going into really struck your interest, or these programs that you're applying to? I don't know exactly the university you're thinking about going to or college.
Right. I go a little bit more in depth on my YouTube channel. I'm going to start doing more of like the process of transferring and why. I think the main thing is I noticed that I wasn't happy where I was. And I think we're in a time, COVID, where you just have to adapt. And that's something that I've really been trying to enforce in my life. And me noticing that I'm not happy, that I'm not pursuing what I want to pursue, really hit me, especially in the first semester. Yet another semester of online classes, and then going into semester 2, I was kind of really I had to take a step back and look at the bigger picture of my life, what I wanted it to look like. There are a lot of reasons why I am leaving, and there's a lot of reasons why I'm going. So as you can see, there's kind of like from both ends. Right now, I'm not truly ready to talk about like the leaving portion of it, just because there's no beef, there's no bad blood. I'm so blessed that I got to go to Ryerson and have that opportunity. But also at the same time, I think it's really great that I can kind of pinpoint the parts of my life that need to be changed. And now I'm ready to move on, and I'm going to be a telecommunications major rather than just being in sport media. I love the fact that I can kind of choose my path in college rather than follow a very niche. And I think we talked about this before and podcasts before with Ben Botello on how niche our program actually is. And now that we're dwindling down in the second year, it's a lot of broadcasting, a lot of on-air stuff. And that's just not really where I want to be like I thought I was going to be. Even a year ago, I thought that's what my dream goal was. So yeah, and it's top, I think it's number 6 public college in the country. So I'm really happy that I got in University of Florida in Gainesville. Thank you. I'm really excited. I actually just told my last professor today, and he was very excited for me. So I'm just very happy.
I think everyone is supportive of you, Alyssa. I think we know what 100%. You can bring to the industry, and we're just happy for you. I'm both sad to see you. The fact that we didn't really talk in first year, so sad that we won't have that kind of experience at Ryerson in person. So that's sad. But again, on the bright side, you're doing something that you feel is right for you, and that's what everyone can only wish for other people to do. And I got a spot in Florida to hang out sometimes. So
I know. I was about to say, Mitch, you really stole my thunder right there. Are we gonna get invited to a Florida party? If we can get traveled there, or is there gonna be no Florida jams out there and over there?
Of course, you can come now if you want.
I don't think Canada will let us do that.
I can't go to Mississauga if you think I'm gonna go to Florida.
They can't see their girlfriends right now. They're not in Florida right now.
Hey, you maybe Anna's gotta come. We go to Miami Beach. Me and Anna just chilling, tanning by the beach. Who knows? Yes. But regardless, this has been a great series finale, and I think we're gonna wrap it up right there. And I want to thank Alyssa Morrison. Great 2-time guest now. Maybe you're one for the 3-peat soon. Who knows? Somewhere down the line, Michael Jordan, he had to come back. You're in a little bit of retirement, but we want to thank you, and also apology. Thanks that it's accepted, and we're all good now. Alyssa, tell the audience where they can find you on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. YouTube.
Okay, so YouTube, just look up Alyssa Morrison in the box. My Instagram is Lys Morrison. My Twitter is Alyssa H Morrison. My TikTok is Spicy Wasian. So if you want to find me, that's where I am.
Amazing name. Amazing name.
Amazing. Spicy Asian, gotta love it. And we're gonna link those all in the bio of this episode. And also make sure, I don't know what you guys are doing. Only a couple of you guys listen to me when I do these things. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the podcast. This helps us out a lot. You know, we don't care about numbers, as we said, but you know what? The numbers do help us with a little bit of a confidence sometimes, you know? Then we know, hey, this is the stuff and we're going in the right direction. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you made it this far, you're already a fan. Just do it at this point. And also, season 3 coming up. Mitch, anything that you want to say about season 3 and where things are going to be headed?
Things are going to be headed in a similar but different direction. There's going to be a rebranding. We're going to have, I think, more TikTok people going to be coming on. We're reaching out to accounts, trying to give you guys a bigger audience. People that we don't know. Again, I think the best conversations are honestly with people like Alyssa, because we know them personally. We can get into a deep conversation, but we'll be reaching out to other people, TikTok accounts, YouTubers, and bringing you that as well. Maybe some sports analysts as well. All come in season 3, which will probably be coming up in April. It would be probably about a month off as we rebrand. We'll be going on as well Spotify and Apple Music. It will be an audio podcast as well, besides it being a YouTube show. And yeah, that's it. We'll try to keep you guys up to date with everything. I'll making my TikToks every day, making sure you guys stay up with us a little bit, at least, just a little bit. You know, me singing along.
Yeah. And Frankie, any last words as producer of this show? Give us a rating. Last thing I'll ask: season 2 out of 10. What is producer Frank the Tank? Is there room for improvement? Because I think there's always room for improvement here.
There is.
You know what? I think there's always room for improvement, but ultimately, you know, I think that I always enjoyed filming this and posting this, and I know that you two always enjoy and have a fun time being on here. And I feel like as long as we keep doing what we love and keep grinding, only big things ahead in season 3.
Beautiful. And that's it. That's sort of the podcast. So that's season 2. And I'm going to say my line that Mitch sort of loves. But you know what? For this episode, for season finale, I'm going to give it to Mitch. Mitch, why don't you say my line for me?
Say your line. Well, everyone watching, you're watching it still. Stay beautiful.